So this is a new video, a new channel. So this is fronted by myself and Rob from Georgia, and we're going to tackle films as kind of a bit of a duo. So we'll do our own reviews, and then we'll upload them at the same time. So Rob's review and my review, kind of like think of a brain, two sides of the brain. It's how the brain is seeing these things. So Rob is left and I'm right, or vice versa. But it can be quite different. It can be like, say for example here, Rob is reviewing the remake of The Evil Dead, and I'll be reviewing the OG Evil Dead. But we could be doing totally different things. We could be like just doing like a film with a sequel or prequel, something like that. It could even be the same film. Say there's some film that's on at the cinema, and we both decide to go and review it, and we see our see how we kind of our experiences with it and what we thought of it. So it's kind of just buddying up, doing our own reviews, but then seeing just how they bounce off each other. But we'll see how this goes. I mean, we'll do this for a few weeks or a few months and see how how people are responding. Please leave comments of what you think about it, and we'll see how it grows and progresses. I think it will take a few weeks to really hit our groove, but I think we'll get there, and it'll be quite interesting. So like I said, so this one, the first set of videos, so Rob is doing the remake of The Evil Dead, and I'm looking at the OG Evil Dead. And I got my old Book of the Dead here. It's seen better days, unfortunately. It's starting to get a little bit crusty here, where it shouldn't be crusty. But I've had this for many years. It's kind of fun love with this one. And I decided that I'm not really going to review the film so much, because everyone knows Evil Dead. It's been talked about so much. I mean, with good reason. It's a fantastic movie. But I want to kind of talk about my experiences with it. Like hearing about this in the playground at school, and it's like, that's this really cool film, like freaky in the woods, and it's like killer, like all the woods killing people and zombies, and it's like, it's crazy and it's graphic. I'm like, oh, I want to see that. And it's like, you can't, it's banned. I'm like, what? And that was my first kind of foray into like hearing about the video nasties. It's like, what? There's this great film, and like, why can't I see it? And like, kind of starting to learn about all that, and obviously later years, kind of really getting into like the video nasty thing, with all these films starting to get pretty much, most of them getting releases now. A few still hunting around on VHS, but especially like last 5 years, cult cinema has really progressed and grown. So many great companies working on it, and there's even the documentaries, the video nasties part 1 and 2. So cool. So yeah, that, like I said, that was my first learning into like years ago, and like the horror, and like really want to know about it. And then from what I saw in a video store was the Graham Humphreys artwork. I mean, look at that, fantastic. I think he did all his artwork with a crayon or something like that. It's like the texture on how it's done and how it all pops out. I think he might have done this actually. Might have, oh, I don't know, like how could have done it. It could be paints, it could be crayon on black. I really don't know like how he did it, but he's got a really distinctive style. He's done quite a few different films, but this is the what I saw as a kid, and like when it's started hearing about it, and like it's in the VHS, but it actually wasn't in the video store. It's seen pictures of it, and it's like, oh, I really want that. And then like a friend getting a really dodgy copy, Betamax or VHS days or something, and seeing that, and that like just sucking me in. It's like, I have to see this movie. And the first time I saw it, was just, actually the first time I saw it, it was actually, it was on I was staying, well, as a family we were staying with friends down on the coast in a place called Bournemouth, and they had a hotel, they owned a hotel, and I was with the daughter, and I think we were around 10 at the time, and it was like, I think they had Sky or something, it was something like that, but this was on, and it was like halfway through, we were flicking channels, and I was watching this thing. I was like, what is this? And I was completely sucked in. And I remember like when Ash is there, he's like hiding, he's like against the wall, and the arms bursting through, and she just grabs him. It just stuck with me. It's like ingrained in my brain. And then when it's like clamping her down in the shed and just hacking her to pieces, like with a chainsaw. And when he's going to do it, he's going to hack to pieces, and then he can't do it. He goes to bury her, and she jumps at him and like shoveling the head and blood all over him. Just amazing. And seeing all the stop motion animation, like it's just incredible stuff. Yeah, it's like the huge like hats off to like the Ray Harryhausens of this world, and then like such good things that they did with the time, and like how good it looks. It's awesome, and it just stayed with me so much. Like we must have probably seen that kind of culmination of like the last half an hour of the film, and that's all I saw for a few years until, like I said, my friend got like I think it's actually Betamax, it was a really shitty grainy copy, but that shitty grainy copy really enhanced the kind of the like, oh, this looks so good. It's like, when we've all seen these dodgy copies of films, and like when you can't really see what's going on, and it just adds to the tension, and like you're kind of scared when you're a kid watching this stuff. And that's just my love of what this is one of my earliest horror films, and just but it's just that love of horror. It's like one of those films like Alien is another one, American Werewolf in London, the first like Child's Play. These play big roles in my life of becoming a huge horror fan, and eventually becoming like a collector of movies. And so without these things, I don't think I'd be watching or doing what I am now. Like no other kind of genre of film grabs me or has grabbed me like horror. And like I said, this one, I think it helped from freaking me out as a kid, but freaking me out in a good way. It's not like I was like nightmares and couldn't sleep and crying all the time. It was like, this freaked me out. I really want to see more. And it's kind of, you want to be scared as a kid, and you want it kind of clawing at you all the time. It's like, I need to see these films. And yeah, Ash and his companions in that cabin in the woods really grew a seed with me. And I should really update this to a Blu-ray. Yeah, I mean it's great. It's like really cool. It's got like it's like fully uncut, and it's quite a few extras on here. And this book is really cool. It's like some really nice artwork from obviously the Book of the Dead. Some really nice stuff, and it has a little book inside. Yeah, and just like talking about the film, but like that Graham Humphreys artwork, that's just one of those iconic things. And I really should get a poster actually of that. But that's kind of just what I wanted to talk about. I didn't want to go, like I said, too heavy into the film. It's kind of like, I didn't really want to go into the video nasties thing. It was like I only just kind of dipped in very lightly. Like I said, I just wanted to talk about like kind of my love for the film, and yeah, how it stuck with me all through these years. Like I said, following Ash and his friends like in the car, and just a jovial kind of fun behaviour, and going into the woods as like couples get in the cabin, joking around, and then it just descends into utter carnage and chaos, and just genuinely scared. Like how like the chin, how Ash is. It's good old Bruce. He's really good in that film. Like he, yeah, like how you deliver lines is like fair enough. But it's like how he really seems like quite scared in that film, and like I think that just adds to like the tensions. Like when you're a child, it's like, yeah, you can have bad acting and like you get sucked into it, but when it's like really believable, I think his reaction was a big part of like how my reaction was with loving this film. But that's enough for now. I hope you like the review. Check out Rob's at the same time. They'll probably be a little bit different, but like I said, it's like sometimes our reviews might be quite similar, how we talk about things. Others it might be like this one. It's like Rob's talking about the film, I'm talking about my experience. But like I said, it's kind of like two sides of one brain, so it doesn't matter how it's kind of maybe more interesting sometimes. Like you don't know how these videos are going to be, so it's going to be hopefully quite interesting for you. and this is something that we'd like to do weekly. So, yeah, hope you enjoy, and speak to you all soon next week. Bye bye.